神羅転生
What's up everybody, it's your boy Hokage here, welcome to the video. Today, the first episode of the MUJINA BANDITS arc aired, and my goodness, it was a fantastic introductory episode. Did I pronounce that word properly? Introductory? Whatever, correct me if I'm wrong, English isn't my first language, but this episode was flawless in my opinion, literally a perfect start to a manga arc. Now, I want to clarify one thing before I get into this review. I don't know if I'm going to repeat it in every single episode review of the MUJINA BANDITS arc, but I'll say it for now. In case you only watch the anime and you haven't read the manga, don't worry. And during some of these episode reviews, I'm going to pretend like I don't know what's going to happen in the future, because I see a lot of people on Twitter pretty much spoiling the arc for other people, speculating some things about, I think his name was Tsuki or something like that, like one of the second main MUJINA gang member or whatever. I think it was Tsuki, right? I already see people spoiling it. Don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything throughout my anime reviews, but one thing that you also need to know is that this whole blood prison thing, the Hozuki Castle, it was never shown in the manga. We did have the Naruto Shippuden movie, the Blood Prison movie, where the Hozuki Castle was introduced for the first time, but a lot of people didn't really see that movie. So yeah, pretty much everything that we saw in this episode is new to us. Now, the reason why I thought this episode was flawless is because it provided so much information, and it really emphasizes the world building aspect of the Boruto series, because the Boruto anime's world building is incredible. The anime explores many parts of the Narutoverse, and so far in these 141 episodes, I'd argue that Boruto does world building better than Naruto. So there's certainly more world building, right? Even though the Hozuki Castle was already in one of the movies, this is new to the Boruto series. So yeah, this counts as world building. We learned that the Hozuki Castle is this prison that's controlled by the Hidden Grass Village. There's this family, this group of people who have this like I forgot the name, like the fire style jutsu, the one that stops you from using ninjutsu. Like, it's a really cool concept, and I really like it. It's definitely refreshing, especially when it comes to the Boruto series. Also, because this episode, like, of course, there wasn't like any like action or anything like that, and I doubt that there's gonna be too much action, especially like in the Hozuki Castle portion of the MUJINA BANDITS arc. But like the conflict, it's kind of like it's like mysterious, you know, kind of like psychological. Feels like I don't know, like say it's like a thriller arc or anything like that, but you get what I mean. We have these like ex-MUJINA bandits. Well, Kokuri is right, he used to be part of MUJINA BANDITS, right? There's Tsukiyo, the guy who's trying to kill him, but then you see Tsukiyo communicating with somebody from the prison, right? We don't know who he is, and then we see Kokuri attacked at the end. It's so mysterious, and when this episode ended, I was like, holy shit, I want to watch more. And I really felt it, right? I bet that a lot of you felt it as well. I mean, I've seen the reactions on Twitter. I'm pretty sure almost everybody liked this episode, and if you don't, it's okay. You're free to leave your opinion in the comment section of this video and explain why you don't like it. Now, I want to comment on Mujo and Benga for a second. As I said earlier, like even when the actual manga portion of the arc, because none of this was in the manga, even when that gets adapted, I'm still gonna pretend like I don't know anything. So like this prediction that I'm gonna say now, like we actually don't know what's gonna happen with Benga, but even if we did, I wouldn't say it. So bear with me, I'm just making a prediction. I feel like there's a chance that Benga is somehow connected to the MUJINA bandits or the MUJINA gang. Now, I'm not saying that he's one of the members, but maybe somebody from the MUJINA bandits, offered him some money so that he could arrange, an attack on Kokuri or something like that. I'm just throwing it out there. Benga clearly doesn't like what Mujo is doing with like the prisoners, how he's soft, how he wants them to change. Like Benga he's pretty is tougher, right, than Mujo. Now, just because he doesn't like how Mujo treats some of these prisoners doesn't inherently make him an ally of the Mujina bandits, right? This could all be a theory that, or a prediction that like never that was never really intended by the writers. I'm just throwing it out there. Because yeah, it's just one of the, as I was trying to picture how this arc will further develop in the anime, it was like one of the possibilities that I saw, right? I forgot his name, the red-haired guy that was in Boruto's prison cell. I wonder if he's gonna have like an important role in this arc. Obviously, his role in this episode was actually pretty important because he let Boruto and Mitsuki know about the poisonous thing that they ate. And I wonder if he's gonna have like a bigger role in the future. I wonder why he got into the Hozuki Castle. He seems like a pretty chill guy, but looks can be deceiving, right? Real quick, one of my favorite moments of the episode was when, I think his name was Kamata. Like, I'm not sure. I'm sure one of the, because like it was Boruto, Mitsuki, and three other guys, right? The sixth guy, he's like in the hospital or whatever, right? I know one of them was called Kamata, but anyway, that funny looking guy who stole Boruto's toothbrush, and when like Mitsuki stole his I forget what it was, because like I've seen the episode like 2 hours ago. I didn't like, I usually watch the episode and then instantly record a review, but I was browsing through YouTube. Whatever, Mitsuki took something from that guy and then they like exchanged it. That was such a cool moment, and for some reason I really enjoyed it. I even went back and replayed it. That was a nice little moment. Also, I mentioned how the premise of this arc, right, the prison setting and stuff like that, like it's refreshing, it's different, it's kind of like mysterious and all that. But also like you can definitely feel like a tone shift in this episode. Not saying this episode is super dark or anything like that, but as I was watching it, I did notice a tone shift. Also, I like how the episode started off with Boruto and Mitsuki already being sent to the Hozuki Castle, and then we see like why they were sent through a form of a flashback later on. I don't necessarily know why I like this so much, because like otherwise the episode, like if in normal circumstances the episode would start off with, right, Team 7 talking to Naruto, and Naruto would say what he said, and then they're sent to the castle, right? It doesn't really make too much of a difference, but I kind of liked this order of things, because like, I mean, I obviously read the spoilers for this episode. I even covered them in a video, so I wasn't really surprised by many events of this episode. But like, if I had no knowledge of these spoilers or whatever, I'd be like, hold on a minute, why is Boruto being sent there? And as soon as the episode starts, it's like that, like instant shock factor, right? That keeps you engaged from like the first second of the episode. So I guess that's why I liked it. It was pretty cool. One interesting thing that Naruto mentioned is that Team 7 is like skill wise already tuning level. I mean, we already know, we knew that. I mean, doesn't take too much. It doesn't take too many IQ points to see that these guys are already tuning level. I mean, Mitsuki has Sage mode, so like that's already Jonin level, and whatever, but even higher than Jonin. But you get what I mean. These kids are pretty strong. It has been stated that Boruto and Mitsuki can actually use ninjutsu, right? Because Mujo didn't actually do, his clan's jutsu. He didn't actually use it on Boruto and Mitsuki. It was a fake one. So I guess that kind of foreshadows that at some point there is going to be some type of fight in this arc, right? Well, there's definitely going to be fights in this arc, but what I mean is like in the first act, right, which is the prison portion of the arc. That's what I'm referring to. Now, I don't know why, but I feel like Sarada is going to have a crucial role later on in this arc. Obviously, right now, she's playing this role of like a curious journalist, aspiring journalist or whatever. But yeah, I just feel like she's going to have some like important involvement, in this arc later on. Perhaps because like near the end of the prison portion of the arc, like something like that. I kind of feel it. I could be wrong though. But yeah, let's continue on with the review. I just wanted to add this because I didn't mention it throughout the review. Kasara wasn't that important in this episode. Also, just one more thing, I like this like structure, how you have Boruto and Mitsuki infiltrating the prison from the inside to gather information to see if Kokori is reliable and all these things, and then you have Sarada observing stuff from the outside, and she potentially will have to step in if something goes wrong, to help Boruto and Mitsuki or whatever. And I feel like something like that is going to happen. Let's continue with the review. So yeah, guys, overall, I mean, a lot of you probably guessed it. I'm going to give this episode a 10 out of 10. Just to summarize why I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. More world building, which is fantastic, by the way. A lot of new characters, mystery, suspense, different setting. It's definitely, as I said multiple times throughout this review, all of this that we got in this episode is pretty refreshing in the context of the Boruto series. These potential conflicts are set up between, for example, Mujo and Benga. It was even stated that like the main doctor or whatever, he doesn't really like the guards and everybody else because like apparently they're too aggressive or whatever, and he's like very respectful. Even though these guys are prisoners and some of them probably did horrible things, he still treats them as human beings. So there's like a contrast between the doctor and the others or whatever. I really like that, all these like character dynamics within the actual prison, all this information that we got that just covers so much of the lore of the Boruto series / Naruto franchise or whatever. Doesn't matter. I really like this episode, and honestly, I cannot wait to watch the next one. As I said, 10 out of 10, without a doubt, 10 out of 10 in my opinion. That was your boy Hokage. Let me know how you felt about this episode in the comment section of this video, and if you want to talk about some future events when it comes to the MUJINA Bandits arc, and if there's like a huge spoiler for the anime, you always try to put like a warning, just like out of respect or whatever. Yeah, again, that was your boy Hokage. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.